Well, all right, y'all. All across the USC, Compton, Watts, Bay to LA, Pomona, California, from valley to valley, we represent that killer Cali. So if you keeping it real on your side of your town, you tune in to Gangster Chronicles.
Gangster Chronicles, we gon' tell you how it goes.
If I lie, my nose will grow like Pinocchio. We gon' tell you the truth and nothing but the truth.
Gangster Chronicles, this is not your average show.
You're now tuned into the real MC8, Big James, and Big Steel.
This is strictly from the streets.
Hello.
We represent the James.
That's what I want to know. When did the pistol play really start up? Like
the pistol play, my brother. That's kind of heavy, man. That's real heavy when you say the pistol play, because that right there is just about the beginning. That's before the Brim even got murdered, when Country wasn't even dead yet. This is the beginning.
You know, you
of
talk about some
and Crips cooking up.
What year was this right here?
This had to be 71. 71.
They had Molotov cocktails,
all that,
and guns. You know, that sounds like some military.
Well, I know. Before 71, they was using the zip guns, and they introduced that in the 38 special. That was in the 60s. My Uncle Willie used to carry a zip gun in the 60s. My Uncle T 38s in the late 60s. So they always had guns, because back then robbery was a motherfucker at that time. That's how brothers was getting their money. And you had the, like and oh my God, just what you read right there is what I've been talking about the whole time. What is it going to show us to say that where we at today is wrong, opposed to where they were at in their time was right? They was doing it totally different. It's pretty much the same shit, but then it just advanced more, and when it got to me, it was full-fledged. So we can't stop it now. We can't stop it now. How do we take the history of what you brothers brought to the table and turn it around and shove this bullshit down his throat?
Well, I would say this, man, in defense of Raymond, because I'm going to tell you the truth, brother. You know, the only solution I only know one solution. Matter of fact, I know two solutions. My number one solution is, I believe only God can change everything. Everything. When I say everything, I mean everything for the better. I don't think a man can do it. I don't think so. I don't think a man can do it. I think only God can do it. I've been on this earth for 63 years. I think only God can do it.
So you don't think if these youngsters hear your story, King Bobby Lou's story, a China Dog story, a LB story, a Cynthia Nunn story, all of these OGs coming out and telling the truth about what the fuck it is?
Hard-headed, my brother. Hard-headed. You was once hard-headed. Who could tell you anything back when you was 15,
I'm kind of still hard-headed. Nobody could tell me nothing.
No.
And that was the point.
Put yourself in their position. Put yourself in their position and think how you were. That's all you have to do.
I did it many times, and that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. I've thought about that many times. That's why I can't get on this platform and say these stupid little motherfuckers. I was a stupid little motherfucker. I can't be contradicting. I can't be a hypocrite about the shit. I was once them.
Okay.
So take from what I know and how I'm thinking now and apply it to a 14, 15-year-old. Because if you 35 and 45 and 50 still out there gangbanging, ain't no saving you. This is what you want to do. Some of us are trapped. So how do we get out of the midst of being trapped and listen and understanding what we see here?
Well, I have to say one thing, because my conscience is really getting the best of me on this, and not to push whatever you're saying to the side, but to try to add an understanding onto this subject. And I would say this. We have to look at Raymond's side of the point of view also. He's only human. If a man is in the middle of the street with a spear calling you out in front of your homeboys, you know what I'm saying?
I got to get him.
One of your homeboys whisper in your ear, what are you going to do? And you're supposed to be the shot caller, and they looking at you, you know what I'm saying? And he got a spear in his hand. You know, you can either do two things. Put down the spear and let's get down. Or you can do another thing. You know You can get an equalizer. You know what I'm saying? Something that may be over equalizer. You know, I look at it as a blessing that he didn't kill the brother, you know? So maybe he shouldn't have picked up the spear anyway. But the only point that I'm making is this. They have some people, brother, that walk this earth. No matter what you do, how you want to fight, they go take the lower road. And the lower road, see, the higher road to me, in my mind, is a person who think that they are superior over somebody. The Crips, yes, they believe they superior over all the gangs that was existing against them, you know? And I hate to say this, but man, they was dangerous, man. There was some dangerous brother, man. And Raymond had to push that line to show his power. Still, you know, he ruled with an iron fist, my brother. So maybe that pistol that was made out of iron, maybe he wanted to rule with an iron pistol. So, you know, either or, iron fist, iron pistol, he made his choice. And that's the bottom line into this gang thing.
Right.
It's your choice. It's your choice if you want to fight a brother, and it's your choice if you want to kill a brother. So I can't tell you what choice to make because that's your choice.
Real shit.
Wow, that's real profound. So I'm going to go back to this question because I know we being like, you know, you coming home because you did some time. When did you come home, brother?
I came home in 2008 after doing 16 years from 92 Rodney King riot. So I did that 16. They gave me 30, and I did half of it and gave my heart to the Lord, and I made it out in halftime.
Okay, so let me ask you this, brother. So we got a situation where you come home, you go in during the riots, and you come out. Technology is just way more advanced now at this point. And you looking online, I don't know if it was that point where people start really putting this type of content out online, but you looking at everything, right? Have you ever seen anything what perturbs you the most about the lies? Like, is there any particular person or anyone in particular, or you just kind of going at all of them?
Are you speaking at for changing my lifestyle?
No, I'm talking about as far as the brothers out here that's kind of like, you know, talking about gang history, but they out there kind of perverting the facts.
Well, I would say this about this, man. You know, I believe that, you know, I hate to go religious on you, but I believe in the word of God so much to the point that's the only reason why I believe I truly really stop, you know, assaulting people and shooting people and even fighting people, because I believe that what really makes you a man is forgiveness. What really makes you a man is turning the other cheek. Because you know what, my brother, it's easy to catch a murder out here. And then when you get stuck up in there, you know what I'm saying, the first thing you're going to say to yourself, again, I should have followed my first mind. You know, and I think that love overrules hate. I believe that love overpower everything on this earth. And that's the hardest thing for a person to do, is show love to an enemy. That's the hardest thing, to show love to someone who killed somebody that was your friend, who killed somebody that was your relative. Do you remember Colors by Ice-T? He said, it wasn't your brother who brutally died, but it was mine. So let me define my territory. Don't cross the line. Don't try to act crazy, because the won't fade me. You run like a punk. Yeah, that's what Ice-T said, and I believe that. It wasn't your brother who brutally died. So sometimes you have to understand that when people have casualties on both sides, it's like the hillbillies. It's like the Federal and the Klansmen during the time of war when they were the Confederate. You know what I'm saying? Of course, the slaves was free by going to war with the Ku Klux Klans as the Confederate Army. But you have to understand one thing. They did not forgive the black people, but they forgave the white people and became part of the United States government. But they still had that hatred for the slave, because it's a superiority trip. Who are you to live on the level that I lived when my granddaddy had you in the cotton fields? And we have that same mentality. Who are you? You know what I'm saying? With a little gang the size of maybe 10 people, when I got 1,000 people. You're nothing to me. You're a buzzer. You're nothing. But then again, you have to understand, then this is what I believe in. It's not the amount of people that exist. It's the heart of the people that exist in that number. So you can have 1,000 cowards. what that have to do with dealing with 100 warriors? They're going to lose because guess what? They're going to retreat and they're going to keep on retreating because for the simple fact, underestimation is what got a lot of Crips and Bloods killed today by thinking, oh, I can go over here and mess with this female on Hoover Street, or I can go over here and mess with this female on Grandy. You know what I'm saying? But have you ever thought about that the female that you are messing with on Hoover Street or Grandy Street are setting you up to get you killed? And that happened many times because you underestimate not only the Crips, but also an undercover Cripolette that sets you up.
You underestimating the female, and that's what happens.
No, that's real because all my baby mamas are from they Crips, from Hoover, IE, Southside. All of my baby mamas are Crips, and trust me, my first son mama lived on 118th, so I used to catch the bus straight up Rosecrans to San Pedro and mob down San Pedro to her house.
Just over there, just kicking it like it's the thing to do.
With Chuck Taylor's on and my red shoestrings and my little pistol, and just mobbing because we didn't care back then, but they never fucked with me.
Well, you was blessed, my brother. That's all. You was blessed. You had the hand of God on you because there's more that didn't make it that did make it.
Well,
I can tell you that now.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Back then, we didn't give a fuck, and if that was the game, that was the game. You know what I'm saying? And then we didn't pay attention to how many people we hurt by just hurting one person. How many people we hurted just doing that one person. Vice versa, we don't think about that. The impact that we had out there in the streets. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we need to get to. And these brothers right here, I mean, we've been doing this shit for a long time. And it was brothers like yourself that I watched. Watching China Dog them up under the headquarters, Stanley Pitts, and watching all of these brothers, how they got down, how they moved, how those cats would be fighting in the park and nobody give up. Man, I gotta be like that. How China Dog could wave his hands and all the Mexicans is, what's up, homie? What's up, big homie? He had it sold up. Like, how the fuck? Just certain things about certain homies. I drew to that. I gravitated to that. And I took a little something from China Dog. I took a little something from Stanley Pitts. I took a little something from Bojangles. I took a little something from all of those guys and just rolled it all up in one. This is how I'm rolling. So I can't be denied of who I'm going to be. I can't be denied. And I worked my ass off to be that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But now the regret. And then we have, this is history right here. Like some real cats, like in some real life shit. But it's 10 times worse now. And then you got people lying on these cats that really, like you, went to prison and fought those wars. And then they come home and say they fought the war, but they ain't never been to motherfucking prison.
But you know what, my brother? I want to tell you something, man. We all have our individuals who we look up to, and those who I even look up to myself. And Ray Boyce and Tavi Clark, rest in peace. He just passed away last week. And he's a historical brother, just like Ray Boyce. And I have a picture of both of them. Tavi is the one with the black hat on, wearing all black. And Ray Boyce have a beige hat with a black band on it, wearing a blue shirt. And he's smiling real wide. These two brothers right here, my brother, I know without a doubt, and can't nobody tell me but God, they didn't pick up no guns, brother, back in the 60s and the 70s. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, these are our guns right here, my brother, and I got that from them, learning that. Same thing what Craig Munson said. Sometimes, brother, you have to understand that what makes you more of a man, to me, as I had to mature and evolve into this mentality, what makes you more of a man is when you can know how to protect yourself from the shoulders. Because I want to tell you something about that, my brother. You know what I'm saying? A coward can shoot a gun, my brother.
Right.
A coward can shoot a gun. And majority of us, and I'm going to put this lightly, majority of us as gang members, AKA gangsters that want to be on the scene as a gangster, the ones who like to shoot up everything and don't fight, you know what I'm saying? Those are the ones, brother, that need to be disciplined to me to learn how to fight. You know,
right.
See, we don't have no organization. We just do things randomly. And so therefore, by people doing things randomly, they're not trained. They just do as they please. You know, like T. Rogers said himself, the Blackstones had principles. They had, you know, they trained each other. They knew they had knowledge, and they was an organization. We were not our organization, the Crips and Bloods. We didn't start organizing until we went to prison in San Quentin and in Folsom and Tracy, just like they had to organize in Dwight T.S., Ray Boyce and Baba Louie and Little Vince and LB. They was all organizing the Bonnaroo. They took the red bandana, which meant Piru, and took the bounty hunter sign, which meant blood, and came together as Bonnaroo. And that's organizing right there to come together against the opposition. Now, the same opposition we came against were black people who we felt that was terrorizing the community. But what about the police? Don't they terrorize the community? Why are we so quick to take off on each other? But when it comes to that guy in that black and white police car, you know what I'm saying? When he come on the block, first thing we want to do is either run, drop our guns, surrender, and everything. But if somebody come down, get ready to do a drive-by, you gonna spray that whole car up.
Right.
Self-hate, my brother. Self-hate.
Finally get a chance to let the